let's get this party started. So, I will try these today. Not sure how that will go, but I'm definitely up for a challenge. The topic for today on the official is I think underwater. Underwater, yes. So I have yet not thought about an idea. I'm not gonna do an underdrawing as per usual. So we'll see how that goes. Hey Chilstrand. Good morning. Atski, Oms, and Reda. It's all fantastic. Fantastic stuff. Hey, good morning, Bruno Romanos. Right, so I have no idea which one is what. Okay, that's the small one. Hey, Quentin and Genji. Hey, that's a felt tip. All right, that's interesting. Hey, Chisran, these are not markers. They're like, what are they called? Fine point or whatever, something. They're not really markers. Hey, Athik and Aegis. Hey, hey, hey. Good morning. So, underwater, no idea. But, Chisran, yeah, I thought I was going to use markers as well, but I found these, or I took them over from my wife. So I changed the plan. And so underwater, let's start. Underwater, I don't want to do a mermaid. The mermaid would be the obvious route to go. Let's just do an underwater creature of sorts. Let's go a little bit more concepty, I guess. Let's just start compiling lines together and try to make something out of this this kind of just loose approach. All right, so I kind of have a picture in my head, almost like a mermaid, as in like flowy bits. I'm gonna use the brush, the other one later, I think, to kind of put shadows in, and then go over it all, trying to just make it like together. So I'm not gonna spend too much time with like shading, so on. I think the first thing I will do is probably just add like content, and then from that start like adding blocks of shadow and things. We'll see. I have no idea what I'm doing. An underwater fox? Nah, I don't know what it is. It's going to be some sort of creature. I just have no idea where to take it. It's going to be an interesting, what's that saying? Pulling a rabbit out of the hat. Like, I have no idea where this is going, and that's one of the things I love about not having an underdrawing. You just have to create something. Hey babe bros, good morning. I think more and more people, beer bros, are not gonna know what that means, unfortunately. I think there is a generation active on internet that has no idea what that joke is about. Unfortunately, that might be true. Let's come up with some weird joint system. Not weird as in non-functional, but just slightly different. Hey there, Bard. Holmes knows. He's old enough. But I'm quite sure that there's a lot of younger man pups that don't know what that means. For those who don't know, is a line from a movie. He's a radio show host in Vietnam. One of those great movies of oh no, what's his name? Me and names, it's so horrible. What's his name? Oh god damn it. He died recently. Comedy guy. Oh wow. Stupid brain. How can I forget his name? I want to say a name, but that is completely not his name. And I can't shake it. I just want to say that name, and I know it's wrong. It's not even the same person. What's his name? Wow, Robin Williams. God damn it, my brain. Ridiculous. Thank you. I was going like Will Ferrell. That can't be his name. Oh man, I'm so stupid sometimes. But there's something is wrong with my brain. I just can't remember names. I'm just so bad at it. Names and numbers is like my kryptonite. Hey, good morning, Captain Jetlag. So today's Inktober topic is underwater, and I'm making some random underwater creature. I have no idea where this is going, but I'm hoping it'll be good in the end. So what kind of no idea really. I'm just kind of just making that, putting down lines and creating. It's gonna be interesting to see how this ends up looking. Hey Bazari, good morning, welcome. I'm fine, thank you. How are you? Hey Zealin, you guys been destroying Discord with your great art. So fun to see. Unfortunately, I've been quite busy, so I haven't been able to be on Discord that much, but things will change rather soon, and it's going to allow me to spend some more time on Discord. But I've been watching you guys and girls completely rocking it. So cool to see. There's also new people on Discord, which is even more fun. I also see that this time around on a 2-week challenge, Oms has, as per usual, completely gone full in crazy line drawing. Very fun to see. And me, I haven't had time to work more on my entry other than that one warm-up. But I'm hoping that I will have some more time now, that I'm looking like I will have a little bit more spare time. Just so much to do, so much to think about. Just in order for me to stay sane, I just can't do everything at once, obviously. There has to be some rhythm to it, some breathing room. There, Bart, yeah. I have accepted the fact that my brain is not geared towards remembering name and numbers. So what I usually do is just prefix any new encounter. Like if I meet a new person, I just prefix it with saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm probably going to forget your name. I'm really bad with it." And then I repeat it. I say, "Your name was X, correct?" So that one way I learned when I meet someone, at least face to face, I repeat their name, and that's one way to help remember the name, but that you say it loud. But like reading a comment or trying to remember a name, it's like pulling out of the hat is just forget about it. But sorry, no, I didn't go to either of those this year. I went to IFCC. I had a lecture there this year. Like I mentioned before on the stream, I generally just go to workshops if I'm a lecturer, because of the like family situation. I can't just like go away for some week and leave my wife with the kids. I can't justify it. I can only justify it if it's kind of like work related, in that sense that I go and further my networking abilities and contacts, etc. by going to a workshop and lecturing. Then it's more work rather than just me drinking and lounging around. I mean, that obviously occurs on workshops, but it's more, it's just not vacation, it's actually work. So that's, and I wasn't invited to either of those two workshops as an instructor this year. So I couldn't go. I heard they were great though. I wish I were there. It's a cool thing to go to, and I think it's I'm a huge fan of it, and I think it's of huge importance that people go to workshops. Bear Bros, I'd love to go to Playground Festival as well. Seems like a really cool show or workshop. Gaxix, you find this alien pose sexy? Okay, that's interesting. Why does this pose make you think of a beautiful French girl? That's not the first thing I think about when I see this pose. It's like, French girl. That being said, I've never been to France, so I don't know if this is the caliber of what one can expect in France. But I heard they're not at least underwater creatures, so probably some things are off here. The radar, yeah, exactly. I can always have a drink with you guys. That's good, man. That's good. So I need to do it like this then. Now she's like reclining, and we should make a necklace, the pearl of the sea or whatever it was called. Oh no, stupid move there. Oh, Jordan, that's really cool. You gotta tell me how the workshop is. It's by this Dutch guy with a really long, complicated name, right? Like four-part name or three-part name. Again, me and names. Like something van der Belten or Burton or something. Oh man, I'm sorry, playground organizer. Completely butchering your name. Hey, Captain Bounce! This drawing, if it's a he or a she, I don't think insects have a he or a she. Except queens, right? There's no male female in a insect world, and maybe this is leaning towards insect. But I'm trying to make it a bit asexual. Like there shouldn't be really a gender assigned to this creature, right? One of my pet, what's it called? Things I get, pet peeves. Is that what it is when you're annoyed by something? Is putting boobs on creature. Because that's like apparently the only way to assign a gender. This creature doesn't have boobs, so it means it's a girl or a boy. This creature has boobs, so it's a girl. Like, oh, that defines a female? Oh, I see. Every duck there in the pond have just boobs hanging underneath the surface of the water. We just can't see it. Is that what you're telling me? That's one of the vectors. Oh, it just makes me cringe. Just forget any other like strengths of gender. Just make boobs, and that's what makes gender. And they should also, for some weird reason, be like caked in oil, so it is like super high highlight, and the boobs are like made out of water balloons or something. Boobs that can be taken off. Yeah. Or just like loads of squid-like teats on the arm. Teats is a fantastic name, by the way. All right. So we're kind of getting towards at least end of first pass of lines. How does this work? I don't know. Okay. Let's just make it something like that. Just put one up here. Yeah, exactly. A lot of insects are like that they can switch gender. I think frogs and snails, at least. Like if there's too many of one gender in the population, they switch. I don't know if it's snails per se that does that, or if a specific kind of snail or a specific kind of frog, but I know it occurs in nature. And I think that's a really, really cool ability. I mean, obviously, they are insects or reptiles and so on. I wonder if there's any mammal that can do that. I don't think so, because of the like hard-coded sexual organ. I mean, I know Gundam nomorphic, yeah. Yeah, these are not insects. These are crustaceans. That's what they're called, right? Anyways, snails and frogs are not insects. I'm not saying that they are. I know that much. Don't don't think that I think snails are insects. This is pretty interesting. It's getting somewhere. Yeah, I was thinking just these tentacle things are flowing. They have it has legs, but I haven't done anything with the legs. I should really. Valid point. Let's just add some more fins and things that makes it look like it has a purpose. Cheating. Anyways, something like that. Just add some directional shape so that we understand the 3D aspect of why it's there. Let's have a line going down, a line going down. Okay. I'm not really like super keen on the face. The face was just me adding something. I'm not sure how with this brush pen the rest of the drawing gonna end up looking, but like I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I'm up for the challenge. So we have around 10 minutes left, so that's pretty okay. I think I'm not gonna say I'm good because then my coffee cup is gonna explode, or for some reason the power's gonna go out or something like that. So I'm just saying I am drawing those damn trolls. So I think I will go and watch. I'm hoping I will be able to make it to Blade Runner this weekend. I need to remind my wife about it. That we should try to make it. She suggested it the other day. I think it's a great idea. I love that movie, or that world rather. Just the way they created that movie, what they did it in 78, 79, and you can watch that movie today and it doesn't look dated. One thing is different though, is the pacing of the movie is completely different than what everyone is used to nowadays. That is something. The pacing is very different in all these older movies versus modern movies. These modern movies are way higher paced. A lot of things always have to happen. Like the old style movies, as you all probably know, is the way more conversations. There was like lingering shots. I mean, how many movies have you seen lately where they're just kind of standing and looking at each other? Like it doesn't occur anymore. There always have to be some lens flare or some explosion. Bye there, Bart. Take care of your loved ones. Hey, Maxi. Good morning. Yeah, 5th of October is tomorrow. Yeah, that's one thing. Like what I love with Tarantino is his use of dialogue and how he shoots the scenes and so on. It's a lot old school in that sense, but done in a modern way, which is like challenges the viewer a lot more. But there's so many movies where it's just like they have almost like a checklist. Does it contain lens flares? Each scene. Does it have explosions in the background? Um, minimal, minimal dialogue. Or if they usually have dialogue, but it's just fillers. Right? They don't actually have a point in what they're saying. It's just some words in between action scenes. And I think that's a bit of shame, because I think everything has to have a contrast, right? So if you're gonna tell a story and that you want something to be loud, right? Some explosion or sudden event, you need the counter, right? You need to have calm. So, like, if you're gonna have a discussion between the characters, let's say in a movie, you can't just force the scene because it's a gap in between action scenes. You have to carefully set up the discussions, and I think that's one strength of Tarantino is that he like designs the movies around the discussions, right? He loves the discussions. He loves the like to have a point of what they're saying, and he's building scenes around the discussions and action scenes and so on, so that it all makes sense, like in a narrative. And I think that's one thing I love about his movies. Like Reservoir Dogs, that's his movies, right? That's his movie, right? Maybe I'm mistaken. Bear Bros, yeah, exactly. They don't have any weight to them. A lot of modern movies, they're just fillers. A lot of movies like that nowadays, and I'm bored of them. I just don't engage. So, like just more explosions, more things just flashing on the screen, tits and ass, and it's like, all right. I mean, a beautiful person is always a beautiful person, but what's the, you know, if it's just there for the like the caveman reward system of looking at something beautiful, you know it's without purpose, one dimensional, a one dimensional beautiful person. you know why do I need to watch a movie about it? That's why I like some of the actors and actresses. um, they contribute something. That's why I like, for example, I really loved Kill Bill with Uma Thurman. Like, she did a really, I mean, she for me she's quite beautiful. interesting looking. You know, she has character, and you can see that there is personality there, and you could see that it's just not a beautiful thing. You know? But granted, Kill Bill is a silly movie, uh, but it's still, you know, entertaining to watch. Uh, Way better than a Transformers movie, if you ask me. Both are equally silly. It's just one is better made. Yeah, Bruno Romanos. If you would go watch Blade Runner, which I did, I watched it at the cinema 2 years ago, I think. The pacing is so strange. It's so not modern anymore. The pacing is quite slow. There's lots of acting, lots of just them standing there, or the shots are very long on each character, which is an interesting thing, you know, like it has, because if you're going to have your camera on your actor for like a good minute or two, and without changing the camera angle, without cutting, you know, rapid camera cuts, uh, the actors actually have to act during this period, right? It's forcing them to show, um, forces them to show depth of character, right? Depth of acting. Like, if I'm gonna be shooting you, like in a camera for a good 5 minutes of you just delivering a line, and if your face is just boring for those 5 minutes, then it doesn't matter what you're saying, right? So one thing with those old movies, you know, which is not, you know, a universal truth here, but a lot of those movies, they required good acting, and less good acting is required when a lot of things are effect based, or like rapid cuts based. There is just no room for acting, so they have to have like bite-sized uh, bite-sized emotions. Children, yeah, Ex Machina was really cool. That pacing was different. One thing that was obvious in that movie is that the like camera time on the faces. Let's see if this helps. Maybe camera time on the faces was very long. You know, the people in that movie had to act. And one really interesting thing with that girl is that you were looking at her, and because the premise was she's a artificial intelligence, right? You were looking at her, and I think it was a great decision by the director to have long shots on the actress and forcing her to act, because I was sitting and trying to analyze her, you know, because she is supposed to be a artificial intelligence, right? I think that's a clever move, and that's why I think the movie is great. Of course, it had action scene in there. I'm not shitting on action scenes. I'm just saying that a lot of modern movies don't have acting anymore. But Ex Machina was a good example of acting in modern movie, which is why I liked that movie quite a lot. It was a good one. And that's why also The Arrival was a cool movie. That one had a very old school pacing as well. Lots of character acting, a lot of emotions shown. Which is great. Okay. I think time's up. As I said, wasn't really sure with this brush pen. I think the shadows became a little bit like they're not conforming to the space that much. I like need a stronger rhythm of the blacks, but I think I'll do more of this tomorrow and try to. We'll see. Anyways, thanks everyone for joining in. This was Inktober number 4. Have a fantastic day. Good night. And have a fantastic, productive 24 hours until next stream. Bye everyone.